So now we come to macroeconomics, and much like earlier, here also I will maintain the same standards. So we will have a basic text, which is for your university exams, and then you will have advanced text, which will cover not only your university problems but also entrance issues, let's say. So, so before we actually kind of move on to them, let me just say that there are some topics which you have as a part of your honors, but they don't really appear in entrance. Okay, so you have those kind of topics. So I'll mention which are they. But the problem is just that for them, the good treatment that you need, that good treatment itself appears in an advanced book. Okay, so they are either absent or very poorly written in a basic book, I guess, because they are basic book. So in basic you have those old two books. So one, you have Mankiw's Macroeconomics, or you have the Dornbusch Fisher. So you can always choose to read one of them. Then again, these two books are good both for reading as well as for problem solving at the level of basic problem solving. When it comes to Mankiw, it is more lucid than Dornbusch, as you know it. And when it comes to problem solving, Dornbusch has a little bit difficult problems compared to Mankiw. Okay, so those are the two only things. Okay, so the first set of models that we have, so we have actually by number, I think we have around 12 or 13 models. Apart from Solo's model, all of them are very small. All right, so we will kind of categorize them in parts. So the first set of models that you have, there are three. Number one is new classical. Then you have real business cycle. And then you have new Keynesian. So these three are the last three in line of classical and Keynesian. So these three. So for these three, the sufficient reference is Freund. I think Freund deals with these three in, I think, 2 chapters, and it's a brilliant dealing. Okay, so to understand these models, you have to read Freund, and it is sufficient both in sense of knowledge and in sense of university exams, in both sense. But in case you get interested, because these models are modern models, then you have another reference, which is Stephen Williamson. In my knowledge, Stephen Williamson Stephen Williamson's treatment is the best in all the graduation books that you will find. Okay, according to my knowledge. I mean, there may be other books, but I saw the Williamson's book dealing with it at a huge length and covering almost everything that you can study regarding these three. But then again, Freund is sufficient, and these are also those topics from which you don't have any, you will not have any questions appearing in any entrance exam. You will never find questions coming from new classical RBC or new Keynesian. Okay, sometimes concept of RBC helps, but no question coming from these three. All right. Okay. Then comes our micro foundation. So in micro foundations, we have basically consumption, we have investment, and we have demand for money, which can be dealt as a separate topic. Anyway, so in my micro foundation, let's keep it that way. So we have consumption and we have investment. Okay. So in consumption, first you have is Fisher. That is your old model of intertemporal choice, which theoretically speaking, you have covered in the last semester. So that same model of intertemporal choice is technically here. It is here because the consumption, in consumption under microeconomics, we take a multi-period approach. All right. And Fisher's model is the basic in that line of multi-period models because it starts with only 2 periods. Okay. So in that sense, you have it. So if you have a problem coming from intertemporal choice in your macro paper, you have a very good day. If you want to revisit SRC or a class video that I have. You can watch that also. Okay. Then comes Keynes. So Keynes consumption function. So that itself is a consumption theory by Keynes. We have covered it in SKM. So no point in going back. But then again, if you want to look back, there is always two books. One is Freund and one is Ghosh and Ghosh, which is also quite good, which is actually quite good. Okay. But I don't think you need that because we have been learning Keynesian quite at length. All right. Then comes those models which are new to you. So you have life cycle hypothesis. Remember, they are hypotheses. That is, they will be giving solution to certain problem. We'll discuss that problem after Fisher and Keynes. And then we'll talk about these two hypotheses as a solution to it. So first of all is life cycle hypothesis, then is permanent income hypothesis. This one is by Modigliani. And the second one is by Friedman. Okay, by Friedman. All right, so for them, you see the original hypothesis, the original treatment of these models. Okay, I'll write two others. So life cycle, permanent income, then Duesenberry's relative income, which is really unimportant. I at least think it is really unimportant. There is no point of reading this, but then again, we'll cover it. It's very small. And yes, Robert Hall's random walk. Robert Hall's random walk. This model is basically a gateway. It serves as a gateway both to advanced macroeconomics and also to some extent to finance. Okay, but the treatment that you have is very simple. So, okay, so for Duesenberry's relative income hypothesis, there is only one reference, Branson. Open it, find Duesenberry's work, read it, done. There is nothing else. But for these three, there is a certain level of problem involved, and the problem is this. You see, originally, these three models are difficult. This one is quite difficult. because it deals with expectation. So it has probability distribution and all of that. And they are multi-period optimization. So they are basically difficult. But the version of these three models that you have is easy. Okay, so you don't have the original version, you have some easier version of that. So the guidance is that you study the easier version. So to that extent, I think that ManQ is good enough, because ManQ has a very easy treatment of these three models, life cycle, permanent, and Robach-Hall, and that's good enough. In case you are interested in slightly advanced, or not advanced, slightly difficult treatment, you can go to Dornbusch. Okay, and my suggestion will be that what I said earlier, you can choose any of them, but you must also study Ghosh and Ghosh. Okay, so as you go along, this book Ghosh and Ghosh becomes, you will see it is becoming really important, and it is important. It is very important that you study them from here if you want a more detailed treatment, not the original but very close to the original. Okay, and that is important. All right, when it comes to entrance, you may expect, I mean, obviously questions will always come from Fisher and Keynes, but in these four, if it comes, then it will come from life cycle or permanent, but that comes very rarely. All right, so questions from these two topics comes, but very rarely, and from them it never comes. But these are important anyways, but we covered them, right? Okay, so these are the things that we have in consumption. Then we move on to okay. So you don't have investment models, because we have covered them, right, in second semester. So what we have after them is demand for money. Now we have studied LM curve, which tells me that we know the first theory of demand for money, or the first model, which is of Keynes. So Keynes regressive expectation. We have studied it while we covered LM curve in detail. So we called it regressive expectations, or we called it liquidity preference, right? Then in second, we have Tobin's portfolio choice model. Tobin's portfolio choice. Third, in three, we have Baumol's model. Baumol's model. Okay, but Baumol's model is for transaction demand. So in demand for money, if we can remember, we have dealt with transaction demand, precautionary demand, and speculative demand. So to that extent, obviously Keynes's theory deals with speculative demand, because he himself coined the term of speculative demand for money. Tobin's portfolio also deals with speculative demand for money, but here we have statistics, in the sense that here you have mu and sigma coming in. Baumol's model deals with transaction demand for money. Okay, and it shows the fact that in LM curve we have written that the transaction demand deals with only Y. It depends on only Y. But in this model, we'll see that it depends on interest rate also. All right, and the only difference I'll write for them is Ghosh and Ghosh. It is simply because this is the best. And in macro, if it is always better that you go by the best reference. The reason is this, that missing 2 or 3 lines in a macro model actually make your understanding wrong, not incomplete but wrong, and that's dangerous. And also it is true that a good treatment of Keynes's model and Tobin's model, you can find them only in this. Okay, so from that angle also you are forced to read this one. So why not read the same book for Baumol's model instead of Mankiw or Dornbusch or any other book, right? Okay. Then comes the last topic and the sort of this is okay. Let me not write economic growth. This is something else. Let's just simply write growth theory. Okay, now in growth theory you have 3 models. Number 1, from which the literature itself starts, is Harrod-Domar. So Harrod-Domar is basically 2 models, one developed by Harrod and the other developed by Domar. But let's just say that the inference of this model is something which connects the 2 models and makes it Harrod-Domar. Okay, then you have Solow model, which is the important model, both in sense of your university exam and in sense of entrance. You will always have at least one question coming from Solow, that's given. And the third one is AK model, that is models of endogenous growth. So let me just write AK model, okay, of endogenous growth. Now, let's put it like this. You see, for this topic also, Ghosh and Ghosh is a fine reference. It is undoubtedly a fine reference. And for Harrod-Domar and AK model, I will strongly advise that you study Ghosh and Ghosh, because it has a very good treatment of these 2 models. For Solow model, obviously this book has a very good treatment, but in case you are interested in an easier but sufficient writing, then go for Mankiw. Obviously Mankiw is not an advanced reference, but Mankew's macroeconomics book, it has two chapters entirely devoted for Solow model. I think the names are Growth Theory 1 and Growth Theory 2. Okay, and those 2 chapters are very beautiful. The only condition is that you have to read them word for word. Okay, read them word by word, and those 2 chapters are complete chapters and they're excellent chapters. Very easily written. It is very easy to understand Solow model by reading from Mankiw, and the problems that are there in Mankiw, they are also quite interesting, let's say. Okay, but always you have an option of Ghosh and Ghosh. Now, strictly speaking, if you are interested to cover from an entrance background, so we saw that the models of New Classical, New Keynesian, and RBC, they are not coming in entrance. We also saw that apart from Fisher and Keynes that we know already, the new 4 models of consumption, they are not also important for entrance. Okay, and nobody is asking question from them. If not, probably life cycle or permanent income. But those questions are pretty simple. It is good enough if you forget those models. Okay. And then comes the demand for money. From that also, you don't have questions coming from Tobin's portfolio choice. You may have some MCQ question coming from Baumol's model, but for that, knowing the form, there is a formula, knowing that is good enough. No question coming from here. Questions will come always from ISLM, so forget this. But growth is a portion from which you will always have questions. So to that extent, I will suggest one book written by Barrow, B-A-R-R-O, Barrow and Xavier Salai Martin. Xavier Salai Martin. Okay. Barrow and Xavier Salai Martin. Now, this book is a book only on growth theory. All right. So study only chapter 1. Don't try to study beyond that. Okay. So it's simply just like a statutory warning. Don't try to go beyond chapter 1. Study chapter 1. Chapter 1 covers everything that you need to know here. Obviously, at a level of university, but at also a level of ISI and Delhi School. So let's just put it this way. If you want to solve every problem that appears in ISI or Delhi School questions, then you need to have the knowledge that you will get from studying the first chapter of Barrow and Xavier Salai Martin. Apart from that, whatever I said is good enough. Okay, so this is your macro syllabus and this is how we are going to deal with it. And as I always said, that you are welcome to study the advanced books, which will cover both your university exams and your entrance. In macro, we have a huge list of models, but all of them are very small apart from solo model. And I mean, as far as entrance is concerned, you don't have to carry forward a lot of things that you read here.